What if the love of your life was actually your worst nightmare? Today, we're diving into The Perfect Match, a romance scam case study that cost one woman everything. We're going to show you exactly how predators exploit loneliness, manipulate emotions, and steal both hearts and life savings. Meet Sarah Mitchell, a 58-year-old teacher from Ohio, recently widowed and searching for companionship online. Then there's David Anderson, except that's not his real name and that's not his real face. He's actually a romance scammer operating from West Africa, using stolen photos to create the perfect fake identity. Sarah's daughter Jenny and friend cybersecurity expert Mike will help us understand how this devastating scam unfolded. Disclaimer: all characters in this story are fictional. Any resemblance to real people is purely coincidental. By the end of this video, you'll know the warning signs that could save you or someone you love from becoming the next victim. Let's begin.
Sarah sits on her couch with a laptop, scrolling through a dating website. Her phone buzzes with a notification.
Hello, beautiful. I came across your profile and was immediately drawn to your warm smile. I'm David, a civil engineer currently working on a project overseas. I'd love to get to know you better. Hope to hear from you soon.
He seems nice. Thank you for the message, David. Tell me about yourself.
Scammers target vulnerable individuals and use attractive stolen photos. They often claim to work overseas to explain why they can't meet in person. Notice the immediate compliment and expression of interest. This is love bombing, designed to make victims feel special.
Sarah prepares coffee while texting on her phone, smiling.
Good morning, my sunshine. I woke up thinking about you again. I've never felt this connection with anyone before.
Good morning. I feel the same way.
I have a feeling that destiny brought us together. Can you send me more photos of yourself? I want to see your beautiful face.
Notice the rapid escalation to romantic language. The destiny phrase is commonly used by scammers. Requests for photos serve multiple purposes. They help scammers understand their target and can be used for further manipulation.
You seem really happy, Mom. Tell me about this David guy.
He's wonderful, honey. He's so thoughtful and caring. He sends me messages throughout the day.
Have you met him in person yet?
Well, he's working on an engineering project in Malaysia right now, but he's planning to visit soon.
Mom, just be careful with online relationships, okay?
Jenny, I'm not naive. David is different.
Scammers encourage secrecy and become defensive when family questions the relationship. Notice Sarah's defensive response. This shows how emotional manipulation affects judgment.
My darling wife He's calling me his wife now.
I'm in a terrible situation. There's been an accident at the construction site, and one of my workers was seriously injured. I need to pay for his medical bills immediately, but my accounts are frozen due to international banking regulations. I need $5,000 urgently. I'll pay you back as soon as I return to the States next month. I hate to ask, but you're the only person I trust.
Oh no, poor David, he must be so stressed.
This is the primary red flag, asking for money from someone never met in person. The emergency scenario creates urgency and prevents rational thinking. Notice how he's calling her wife to strengthen the emotional bond.
You'd like to wire $5,000 to Malaysia?
Yes, it's for my fiancé. There's been an emergency.
Ma'am, I have to ask. Have you met this person in person?
That's a very personal question. This is urgent.
Bank employees are trained to recognize romance scam patterns. This is a critical intervention point where the right questions could prevent further loss.
Sarah, my love, thank you so much for helping me. But now there's another problem. The authorities want to investigate the accident, and I need money for legal fees. If I don't pay, they'll detain me here for months.
How much do you need?
$15,000. I know it's a lot, but I promise I'll pay you back everything when I get home.
David, I don't have that much available.
Please, Sarah. I thought you loved me. Don't you want us to be together?
Scammers use emotional manipulation when victims hesitate. The amounts increase progressively. This is coercive control, similar to domestic abuse patterns.
I'm really worried about my mom. She sent $20,000 to this guy she's never met.
That sounds like a classic romance scam. We need to approach this carefully. If we confront her directly, she might shut down completely.
What should we do?
We need to plant seeds of doubt gradually and help her question the relationship herself.
Mom, we wanted to talk to you about David.
If you're going to tell me it's a scam, save your breath.
Sarah, I'm not here to judge. I'm just curious about a few things. How exactly did you two meet?
On a dating website, he messaged me first.
That's nice. And you said he's an engineer in Malaysia?
Yes, on a construction project.
Have you ever had a video call with him? I imagine you'd want to see each other after all this time.
Well, his internet connection isn't very good where he is.
Mom, in all your conversations, has he ever asked you about money or financial help?
He's in a difficult situation. His accounts are frozen and he's dealing with legal issues.
Notice the gentle questioning approach rather than direct confrontation. The goal is to help victims reach conclusions themselves rather than forcing awareness.
Sarah, I want to show you something. Can I use your computer for a minute? Let's do a reverse image search and uploads one of David's photos. This photo appears on 15 different dating profiles with different names.
That can't be right.
Mom, none of this is your fault. These people are professionals.
I feel so stupid. How could I not see it?
You're not stupid. Romance scammers are trained psychological manipulators. They know exactly which emotional buttons to push.
How to help romance scam victims.
Sarah, before we talk about next steps, I want you to know that what happened to you happens to thousands of intelligent, caring people every year. This is not a reflection of your character or intelligence.
But I should have known better. The signs seem so obvious now.
Mom, these criminals are experts. They study psychology and human behavior. They're not random people. They're part of organized crime networks.
Romance scammers use techniques similar to those used by domestic abusers. They create a false reality that becomes your truth. The emotional manipulation makes it nearly impossible to think rationally. Right now, we need to focus on protecting you from further harm. Have you given David any personal information beyond what he already has?
I gave him my address, my phone number, details about my work.
We need to report this to the police and your bank immediately.
We should also document all communications, emails, and transactions. Place fraud alerts on your credit accounts. Change passwords on all your online accounts. Block all communication channels with this person. Report the profiles to the dating platforms.
I don't understand how I let this happen. I feel so ashamed.
Sarah, shame is exactly what these criminals count on. They know that shame prevents victims from seeking help or reporting the crime. Your feelings are valid, but the blame belongs entirely with the criminal.
Would you consider talking to a counselor who specializes in fraud victims? This kind of trauma needs professional support.
I don't know, I just feel like I've lost everything. Not just the money, but I really thought David loved me.
That's another layer of trauma. You're not just dealing with financial loss. You're grieving the end of what felt like a real relationship. That grief is real and valid.
What are the chances of getting the money back?
Unfortunately, recovery rates are very low because these operations typically involve international networks. However, we should still report everything to local police, FBI's IC3, Internet Crime Complaint Center, your state's Attorney General, the dating platforms where contact occurred.
So I've lost $20,000 and there's nothing I can do.
The money may be gone, but we can focus on protecting your future. We'll work with your bank to strengthen security measures and help you recognize red flags if anyone tries to target you again.
How do we make sure this doesn't happen again?
Scammers often sell victim information to other criminals, so Sarah might be targeted again. We need to be prepared for follow-up scams claiming to help recover lost money, new romantic approaches using different identities, lottery or inheritance scams targeting known victims.
I don't think I'll ever trust anyone online again.
That's understandable, but isolation isn't the answer. Instead, let's establish some safety rules. Never send money to someone you haven't met in person. Video call within the first few conversations. Be suspicious of anyone who moves the relationship very quickly. Always discuss new relationships with trusted friends or family. Trust your instincts if something feels off.
What can I do as her daughter to help?
Stay connected and present. Scammers thrive when victims are isolated. Regular contact and emotional support are crucial for recovery.
I'm embarrassed to tell anyone else about this.
Mom, you don't have to tell everyone, but having a support system is important. Maybe we could connect you with other survivors.
There are support groups specifically for romance scam victims. Talking to others who've experienced this can be incredibly healing and help combat the shame and isolation. Recovery from romance fraud happens in stages. 1. Immediate safety, stopping further financial loss. 2. Emotional processing, working through grief and trauma. 3. Practical recovery, rebuilding financial security. 4. Future protection, developing awareness and support systems. 5. Helping others. Some survivors find purpose in educating others.
How long does recovery take?
It's different for everyone. The financial impact might be immediate, but emotional recovery can take months or years. Be patient with yourself and don't hesitate to seek professional help when you need it.
This educational case study demonstrates how romance scams progress through predictable stages and how intervention requires patience, empathy, and practical support rather than judgment or confrontation. If this story opened your eyes to the romance scam, hit that like button and subscribe for more true crime cases. Comment below. Would you fall for a romance scam or would you detect it? Check out our playlist for more frauds and scams. And remember, in the age of digital crime, staying informed isn't just smart, it's survival. Thanks for watching, stay sharp, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.